Hello everyone and welcome to the next tutorial here on Ducttapestuff. In this tutorial we're going to be making something really interesting. We're going to be making a checker and chess board, so you can play chess and checkers on a board that you're going to make out of duct tape. So that's what we're going to be doing in this tutorial, so get ready, we'll get started here. Alright, so your first step, what you're going to do is you're going to cut out a whole bunch of strips that are a little over 9 inches long each. And what I mean by a little over 9 inches, if you have your ruler out here, you're going to go about 2 notches past the 9-inch mark here, 2 notches past 9 inches, and then you're a couple notches before the 9 1/4 inch mark. So you're going to cut out just a little bit over 9 inches right there. You're going to cut out several of these strips of this length. You're going to take your first 2, and obviously purple is going to be my base color here. Make sure you line them directly on top of each other and stick them down, just like that. Take your third one here, and you're going to overlap it by just a little bit, and stick it down. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take several more of your strips until you just keep folding them back and forth until you have a piece of duct tape that is 9 inches, a little over 9 inches long on the bottom here. So you're going to have a perfect square that is 9 inches, a little over 9 inches wide and a little bit over 9 inches long. So you're going to cut a whole bunch of strips and do that now. Make that perfect square a little over 9 inches on both sides. Okay, so this is what it should look like after you've gotten your square piece of fabric. Now remember, since it is a square, all the sides should be the same, just a little over 9 inches on every single side. So once you've got that piece of duct tape fabric made, we're going to start making the strips, which are going to go on this piece of fabric and show obviously where the checkerboard will be placed. So that's what we're going to be doing next. That's our next step. Your next step obviously is you're going to take a different colored duct tape, and you're going to what I did for this is I took a long sheet of tape, laid it down, and what I did was I went on my ruler, and you will find the 1 1/8 inch mark. That's there should be 2 blocks right after 1 here. And what I did was I came over to the top here, lined up the top with the ruler, the top of the strip of tape, marked 1/8, and then just cut that whole rest of the strip right off. So that will give you a strip of tape left here that is 1 1/8 inches wide. So what you're going to do next is you're going to take, since they all have to be squares, you're going to take your X-Acto knife here, or whatever you're using to cut, and you're going to cut perfect 1 1/8 inch squares. So you got one right there. You're going to line up again, and you do want to make sure that these are relatively perfect, so just take your time, make sure you do it right every single time. So you got another one. So you're just going to make the exact same thing all the way to the end here, so you have a whole bunch of the squares, and then just keep doing more. We're going to apply them to this sheet up here in the next step. So do that now. Once you got a whole bunch of your little squares cut out, from there it should be a relatively simple process. All you need to do is just stick them in a checker pattern onto your sheet here, and you will have the finished product. So let's see exactly what this looks like here. Like this. So there you have it. Your checkerboard is complete. You have all the squares stuck on there, and you'll notice that the checkerboard is a little off, especially towards the bottom here. Though you're not going to be able to make a perfect checkerboard, so because if one square is just a little off, then every square is going to be just a tiny bit off. So you try to do the best you can, and then once you have all the squares on there, then you have your checker or chessboard. So really cool thing to make out of duct tape. I will mention that I'm pretty sure that someone's probably going to mention it, so I'll mention it now. You can obviously weave a duct tape chessboard or checkerboard, and obviously you can do that just by the various strips and weaving them together and sealing them up at the ends. So if you know how to weave duct tape, that'll definitely come in handy here, and you can also make like a woven checkerboard or chessboard. So that's how to make this particular creation here. Kind of cool. A lot of cool things you can do with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time. So take care.